A new AEW signing confirmed. WWE has made a huge announcement, and we are going to talk about a former WWE superstar backstage at AEW Revolution. All right, guys, welcome back to the Ango Show. My name is Ango. Thank you for joining us. We're going to kick things off with Elektra Lopez. We have been talking about her a little bit recently because of the fact that she is gone from WWE, and now we are seeing tons and tons of rumors. TNA reportedly interested, but now there was a new report from Lucha Libre Online. They dropped a report that Elektra Lopez, a.k.a. Carissa Rivera, was backstage at the Crypto.com arena for AEW Revolution. Now, obviously, nobody really knew exactly what was going on here. Obviously, a lot of people were wondering, okay, is this a situation where she's just visiting friends? Is this a situation where perhaps maybe she is, meeting with the company, potentially joining the company, stuff like that? Obviously, AEW Revolution is a show that a lot of people were tuning into. They did relatively go with ticket sales. But you got to look at, Elektra Lopez, and you kind of just have to see where would she fit in AEW's women's division. And listen, this is supposed to be respectful. I'm being very genuine here. Elektra Lopez is a great talent who has a lot of potential to get better and better and better. However, I don't know if going to AEW would actually solve anything or help her, because largely due to the fact that there's just a lot of women who aren't being utilized who are way more polished, right? And so unless you brought Elektra Lopez in as a manager of some kind, which could make a lot of sense, I don't really foresee AEW bringing her in as an in-ring competitor. Now, there are plenty of areas where AEW could bring her in as a manager and it would make sense, and those ideas I would support. But if Elektra Lopez is looking at being an active in-ring wrestler, I do think the best place for that would be TNA. TNA's Knockouts division has been gutted. And obviously, if you could bring in somebody like her who is good enough and then allow her the opportunity to get even more polished, it ends up being a great opportunity. Now, obviously, in the sense, let's just hypothetically speak here, if Elektra Lopez were to go to TNA, get really polished, and then maybe that gets to the point where she gets really over, then there's always that opportunity as an in-ring competitor. Maybe WWE wants her back, maybe AEW wants her, and then that would make a little bit more sense. I just think there's so many people in the AEW women's division where they're just way more polished and they're not being used. And if you're looking for that in-ring aspect, I think that's going to be relatively important to try to give those individuals TV time. So obviously that's one of the reasons why I bring that up. Now, with that being said, as a manager, 100% I would support it. We'll see what happens and what comes out of this. And that brings us to our next topic, WWE's Hall of Fame. There appears to be a really big change with it. As you guys know, we have been talking about this. However, WWE has now announced, and it's a huge announcement because it's a big change, with Fontainebleau Las Vegas. There's this new partnership. This is the official host hotel of WrestleMania 41 and the newest luxury hotel to debut on the Strip. They announced that the 2025 Hall of Fame ceremony will take place Friday, April 18th at 8 p.m. Pacific time at the resort's state-of-the-art 90,000 square foot Blue Live Theater as part of WrestleMania weekend. So what this means is that they are doing the Hall of Fame separate from SmackDown, which is the right choice. It is the right thing to do. Quite frankly, WrestleMania weekend is absolutely slammed. It's absolutely insane. And obviously, listen, like the reality is this. They needed to do that, right? The WWE Hall of Fame being right after a SmackDown, or in this case, a 3-hour SmackDown, it's just too long. The speeches are too long. Everything is too long. And personally speaking, I don't think that's the right choice, right? So the fact that this will be happening 8 p.m. Pacific time, I should say. I believe that's 11 p.m. Eastern. So it is a little bit different. Obviously, we'll see kind of what happens logistically. 90,000 square feet theater. I don't know how much it supports, as far as capacity goes. They're obviously selling tickets. We'll see what that turns into. I don't know if WWE is going to have a strong ticket sales for the Hall of Fame event. Quite frankly, I don't know if people genuinely care about the Hall of Fame event anymore. I feel like as WrestleMania weekend has just become so star-studded and so stacked, and obviously, you know, we can't be dumb. We have to acknowledge this here. Obviously, SmackDown, NXTs, and all these different events, there's just so much stuff going on. I think that is a really big concern, and I think the Hall of Fame is probably the least important aspect because it's just straight up speeches. There's no in-ring action. And I think most wrestling fans are going to go to Las Vegas and enjoy in-ring action. And not only is WWE doing everything WrestleMania weekend, but you can't forget about the fact that GCW and all of these other indie companies are going to be doing something that weekend. And I think that's the big thing. I think that right there is the thing that a lot of people need to understand. There is just so much going on. Do you genuinely care about the Hall of Fame? No, to be honest with you, I don't think people care as much, but that's just my opinion. Just a quick reminder, guys, if you like my videos, if you guys want more news and everything in pro wrestling, more reactions, more opinions, click subscribe. All right, guys. AEW has confirmed a new signing. Big Boom AJ confirms his contract status with AEW. He spoke about this at the AEW Revolution post-show conference. AJ confirmed that he is undefeated and under contract right now, along with Big Justice and the Rizzler. He says, "We are going to be here for a little while. I know there are some names on the AEW roster that I might be gunning for. Some guys out there who don't quite believe in what I believe in, the happiness, the positivity, the boom. You never know how deep this thing is going to go." You've heard me say this on the channel several times, so this shouldn't be a shock. This shouldn't be a shock whatsoever. AEW, obviously, good for them signing him. You know, listen, I'm going to be really honest here, and I think maybe a lot of people are not going to like what I have to say, but celebrities in pro wrestling, I'm okay with it. Big Boom AJ did obviously have wrestling experience. We can tell, we see it, we know that. I think a lot of times wrestling fans want to gatekeep pro wrestling. I think the truth is celebrities, guys who go viral on social media, they bring a different level of awareness to the product. I'm not saying they grow the audience. I'm not saying they hurt the audience, but for the most part, it's harmless. Big Boom AJ has also just been like on the 0-hour kickoff pre-show thing. So at the end of the day, you're not cheated out of the $50 that you spend for an AEW pay-per-view. It's not that big of a deal. Big Boom AJ is viral. People know who he is. People like him. And for that reason, I support it just as I would with Travis Scott or Bad Bunny or Logan Paul or something in WWE. There's just a different level of awareness that you get. I've supported it before. Big Boom AJ being under contract is cool. I have no problem with it. The only thing I would say is maybe let's see him a little bit more on TV and building programs on TV. So that way the next time there's pay-per-view, whatever it may be, they have some sort of build that's a little bit bigger. But other than that, that's all I got to say. That's the Angle Show.